This link. This here.
Okay, nice. We got a pretty good turnout for this one. Cool. This. Oh, nice. Welcome, Nova. All right, we just need one more spot here. Grant, you should probably claim it. All right, we're full, Wells.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get this started then.
All right, we're gonna get this thing started in 3. No room for Grant if Grant wants to pull up. Oh well. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Turn off my noties.
Okay, Justin Jefferson. That's take. I'm kind of different on CMC. If you don't want to go with CMC this year, I encourage you to go Bijan. Your running back start, but yeah, I'm just taking CMC or whatever. I'm fine going. Both options.
Yeah, it's like I'm going CMC from the first pick if I get it there because it's like, but it doesn't feel the best because it's kind of cursed.
Bijan Robinson. Hi, it's me. So you've been crazy today. There's no worry for CD realistically. Like these are guys that are on Super Bowl caliber teams. Like they're going to play.
Yeah.
Like CD Lamb should never fall to the 106 ever. Like that makes no sense for this year. Like this is a guy that's consistently going 101, and he's looking like he's going to fall to the 7th spot in our draft here.
Please don't auto CD.
He's totally going to auto him.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dang.
Damn.
All right, I'm gonna go Chase here.
That's boring. Would have been funny to see if he actually went something different, but
yeah.
What's going to give? I just imagine NFL teams figure stuff out. Like I don't really play the whole game where they're not going to play. Like you rarely get situations like who was it? Le'Veon Bell that didn't play. Like you rarely get those.
Drinking kombucha right now, and I kind of forgot when I took the first sip, so I was like,
yeah. True. All right, who's falling in the draft? Some interesting names on the board.
Who took Jameer? Spurs fan. I think that's a good call, not letting him slip. We obviously have some positive news as of recent about Jameer.
Yeah. I miss me so. If I have the 10th pick, would I trade up to 8 or 4? Depends on what I'm having to give up. That's kind of the real question mark there.
Doug with the chalk, ARSB.
There you go, Doug.
All right. Well,
Yes, Miss Misa.
My goal for this draft, is to not get caught with a bad RB2, or not bad RB2, but to get a solid RB2, because I feel like every single time I do one of these mocks, I end up with a bum at RB2. It's like not a terrible draft strategy, but it's like I feel like it's good to mix in like a strong RB1.
You just want one. It realistically is how I look at it, and just play for upside in the second. Like you'll find somebody who can fill in that spot.
Yeah.
I would prefer the 4 compared to 10 because that basically guarantees I get the guy I want. So we're gonna go ahead and do this.
Yeah, JJ is not actually going number 1 in drafts. It's going to be CMC pretty much every time, unless your superstitious people are going to get CD there.
I'll go ahead and worry about your picks. I'll worry about mine. Fair enough. So I think there's a genuine chance that each one of these guys finishes number 1 at their position. I don't mind starting off my draft like this. But I will be hunting receivers like a madman now with this type of strategy. If you don't get a single receiver in the first 3 rounds, you have to hunt them like a madman after this. Also, Doug, what is this profile picture, man? What's going on here?
Okay. Who am I going for here?
Is he a real man? The one on sleep.
Dude, of course it takes Nico Collins like 3 wide receivers down. That's so annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm willing to take Laporta on the turn. There's a genuine chance that I just took the number 1 player for each position in the first 3 picks. Like, is that terrible to have on your roster? I feel like I can figure out receivers. But moving on from that, DeAndre Swift. This Miso decided she wanted to be a heavy part
Why
of this.
didn't I take Malik Neighbors there? Damn.
Nothing just for pick. I mean, as I said, I would prefer the 4 to 10 because that means I guarantee myself Bijan or Chase. Realistically, like I have no problem with either.
Doug, you just made a better pick than me there, I guess.
Look at the neighbors. Music makes you lose control. That's the Miso girl. Music makes you lose control. Bada bing, bada boom. Brandon Ayuk.
Doug's team is nasty so far. Munra, Malik, and Puka.
Fun little squad.
Let's see who else is kind of.
I might honestly try to do a start like this in my home league. I think this might be the most similar one I would do.
Like to what you're doing right now?
Yeah, it's just like I might change it with like an elite receiver or something, but it's like I'm rather confident that like Laporta will probably fall in my home draft. Yeah. I could totally see a lot of people just being like, no way, this works. And like I'm going to try to see if I can get him at the late 3rd.
I'm going to take the value on Pittman there for sure.
Hopefully I can get – I should be able to get all 4. Let's see.
Devontae Smith would be a pretty cool pickup for you if he falls.
It would be pretty nice. Let's see where they all go. Oh, there he goes. Classic. All right,
it's a fun start there. DK, Devontae, Debo, and Bijan.
Yeah. So I can't get another tight end. What running backs are available? All right. So I will be doing this.
Ooh.
Yep. I mean, Wicked Pompano, for what it's worth. I mean, Doug, he is going at like pick 42 in most platforms. So we're taking him technically behind ADP here still.
Doug was giving you slack for the Rashid pick.
Yeah. Taking Rice if you didn't eat a top 10 Rice kid, fair enough, makes sense. Yeah, I'm willing to pay 4th round capital on him because I don't think people will be thinking about him as much because most people are going to be like, oh, there's no way someone's going to take him before 5th or 6th. Like, I can totally get him there. And it's like, Rice in the 4th is a more than fine price for me to pay.
Oh my God, dude. Please, I just want Anthony Richardson.
That is instas how worthy is open. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like make everyone believe is Worthy's the number one guy. So the people from my home league who also follow that page are all just seeing nothing but Worthy highlights. Like that is a like deep state kind of plan of for me against my own league mates back home because a few of them follow the page as well. I was like, all right, let's put as many Worthy highlights on the page as possible, so that everyone's just picking Worthy.
That's crazy.
I'm not lying. Kind of is part of the strategy. Like I've been very careful to not do a lot of. You'll notice it's like I will typically put a lot more analysis on Instagram around this time, but no, I'm waiting until my home league is done. Once that one's done, then yeah, I'll put more analysis on there. But I'm not letting those guys see all that stuff all the time. I'll send them mixed signals. I'll be like, hey, you really want Xavier Worthy?
Put your Jamari Thrash.
That's 100%. I'll just be like, this is going to be the guy that's just going to get it done right after.
Yeah.
But yeah, deep state propaganda by me on our Instagram with all the Xavier Worthy clips will not lie. Welcome, Grant. Welcome, Grant.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Grant. Are you in this one?
I'm not. There is a Raider fan though.
Yeah, there is. Spurs.
Did you hear my deep state plan, Grant?
About which?
All the Xavier Worthy clips.
Oh yeah. There's some great PR going out.
It's gonna work well. Just continue to buy Rice at the discount.
It's honestly a great plan.
It's the only reason I actually went into this job, so I could beat my friends in fantasy football leagues and feed them like propaganda about why players can be good. Yeah, Xavier Higgins is wild. I agree.
The one clip did a ton of negative PR, but everything since then has just been him wide open.
Pretty much. Just put one a day of everybody seeing Patrick Mahomes hit him on a deep ball. They'll all follow. Like a moth to the flame.
All right, Harsh P.
I mean, I still think there's a lot of ways to probably scheme him open, regardless of whether he's able to beat tough press. But
Christian Kirk.
I mean,
he's fast as hell.
I see him being more of a gadget guy.
Damn you, Spurs fan. Miso, you are insane. Did you know that? You were crazy.
Miso, you're insane.
She really is, man. Dude, most cats
over T. Higgins is wild.
Are very like, don't touch my belly or whatever. She just lays on her back and is like, okay, pet me. Whereas I do it with Toothless, he's like, all right, now I got to beat the hell out of you. You took it too far. I'm like, sorry,
what do you think about Zay Flowers over T. Higgins was?
Oh, Zay Flowers is a terrible pick in my opinion, but like at this price, I can understand it, I guess. But like Higgins is still a much better pick by a mile. Like I'd rather you reach on Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's not like they really added much other competition for Zay, but
I personally prefer Drake London.
Count on the passing side of the offense being reliable.
I just think there's a lot of liability up in the pick. Mm-hmm. All right, so there's a lot of interesting plays on the board. Yeah, just wow, crazy values. Okay, so I could go with Jaden Reed here, could go with Worthy, could go with Godwin. Realistically, I'm going to be taking a receiver here or a running back. I like Najee. He broke off for the day. So I'm going to take him for fun for right now.
No Zamia.
No Zamia for just yet. There's just so many picks. So it's like, it's weird with like ADP value trying to like remember like who technically should be going where. But like, I'm just going to go ahead and like buy Brian Thomas. Like, because he should realistically be going way earlier. And I'm willing to take a chance on him.
What about Lad?
Lad's good. Like, realistically, you can also take Chris Godwin above him as well. And, like, that's an interesting argument. Lad is great. It's just the injury profile is what concerns me. Otherwise, I'd probably be saying this is, like, the biggest smash pick on the board. Because he could just be a PPR skin. But this is why we buy the receiving rooms. Coleman, his upside is insane. I mean, the biggest issue with Coleman is he can't separate, and I just don't like receivers who can't separate. So we will see how he does in the league. I've been wrong before. I'm sure I'll be wrong again. But Miso, she's always right. She's crazy. Dynasty Superflex World Man League. You've got Caleb, Bijan, Herbert, Neighbors, Olave, and Higgins so far. Ooh, fun. That's going to be a crazy team. I like the upside you have for the future, especially if Higgins ends up going to another team sometime next year. He's got, like, his whole thesis, I think, for this year is show out so he can go somewhere else and be someone else's number one.
There's your boy Worthy off the board.
Goodbye, Xavier Worthy.
Like, I'm not super high on him, but I feel like taking Keon Coleman over him is a stretch.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, you can like use genuine NFL logic as well when you're making these picks too, which I think is kind of an interesting way to do it. Like Romo Dunze was the third receiver off the board, Brian Thomas was the fourth, and Worthy was the fifth. That's probably how they should go in this as well. Like the only reason Coleman goes higher is because they're like, oh, he could be the wide receiver one, but like,
I mean, the Chiefs did use a first round pick on him, so I feel like it's worth prioritizing him.
Oh, yeah.
But like in the past, they've had little speedy gadget guys and stuff, and every year people are like, "Oh, this is Tyreek Hill," and it never is.
I think Worthy will be good. I just think it's going to be more of a like he's just a deep ball guy.
Yeah,
and it's just like you're just going to have too many weapons to be dealing with Mahomes. Like it's going to be annoying as hell. Yes, Miss Me. So it's going to be very annoying. Very annoying. Yes. All right. Rock the gospel. Rock the gospel.
Who were all the receivers that were first round? Obviously, Neighbors, Harrison, Brian Thomas.
Coleman, I think, was
Worthy. I think Coleman was first and it was early second.
He might have been 201.
Or maybe he was 32nd overall.
It was one of the two. And then it was Leggett and Pearsall were the other ones.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting way they went about the draft this year. I was not expecting that. I thought Ricky Pearsall was going to be a round 2 guy.
Come on.
DK, Debo, Kupp, Mike Evans, and Pittman. It's Debo, Pittman, Mike Evans, like Kupp is kind of how I see it, and then DK is how it finishes. But like if you're doing it in the order it should be done via ADP, it's going to be Debo, Evans, Kupp, DK, Pittman. Let's see here, just different priority levels. Alrighty. There's just so many weird picks on the board. Oh well, there was a guy I was looking at. All right. All right. So you guys didn't steal him, so I will start just being greedy if he's available. Jeez. And we shoot for the open receiving rooms. See what we can find.
Okay.
Yeah. I literally looked out the corner of my eye and I saw you just emerged back into the stage room. I was like, oh.
Did that crash for you guys too, or is that on my end?
I just saw that like half a second.
Weird.
I was in a Zoom call earlier. My whole entire internet connection completely crashed out. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Oh yeah, I saw you hop back in.
I was like, what the fuck is going on there? So these widdities. Oh shoot. I didn't even realize I was drafting. I'm okay with Hollywood. That's dumb of me. Oh well. Yeah, I was gonna go receiver there. I'm not gonna say who in case if they somehow stay on the board, but probably won't. But Hollywood Brown not a click correctly. That's why you don't get distracted by Miso.
Miso cute.
Oh, come on, dude.
Jalen Warren. Yeah, Miso. You're crazy.
But
Do you think there's a chance that Pollard has a better year than people were expecting?
Oh, very much so.
Like he totally could.
Very much so.
He seems just a little disrespected.
I think Pollard's a good pick. Like one of those. Like if I'm playing best ball, I would love to have both Titans running back.
yeah, for sure. Great, I'm liking these outdoor vibes you've been on.
I know it's so sunny here now. I feel like I gotta soak it up. It's only sunny in like the early fall, late summer months here. So
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, I took Khalil Shakir. That's the guy I wanted. I meant to click him, but oh well. We live, we learn, we move forward.
I had my eye on Khalil as well.
I've got my eye on you. I know this me so.
I feel like you almost have to hedge with one of those dudes.
I have to. So you were literally insane.
I can't believe we're so close to the season. I'm hyped.
It is weird. We got NFL preseason football tonight. I'm imagining a Kenny Pickett show.
The Kenny Pickett show.
The Kenny Pickett experience.
Do we really need Thursday night football in the preseason?
Oh, yeah. We definitely do. Against the Patriots, of all people? What gets better than that?
The Patriots
come on,
are actually kind of
dude.
fun to watch now.
I'd like to
preseason.
see if they let Drake May actually run around.
I love watching Joe Milton.
Jonathan Milton. He gonna swing.
Non-college football watchers are in stage one of Joe Milton watching, and everybody is way too overhyped.
I mean,
He
it's
has,
just
he has
happened.
the
He
most
has a
live
cannon.
arm you'll ever find, and it works at times. But the more sample size you get, you realize like this is why he's in 6th round pick.
All right. We need to figure out who's going to go first overall next year, though. Because
Yeah,
these are like actually crazy odds based off the talent profiles of some of these players.
I mean it'll depend so much on what team is picking, and also like who is, who has a good season and everything. But like if the Panthers come first or come last, like they're obviously not taking a quarterback and whatever. Like
Yeah. I think we can figure that out relatively easy. Like,
who are the teams that have the highest chance?
oh, what the? Take me off of auto. How do I get off of this?
Hey, you got B-Rob, though. I know
I
you're.
got B-Rob, which is fine, but I don't want to be auto-clicking everything.
I think you just clipped your profile.
Oh,
Is it?
Shit.
you got Jerome Ford.
I made sure to auto that one. I was like, that's a guy I'm somewhat interested in, so let's put him on the board at least for points. All right.
I mean, I guess you can just queue guys up, but that's annoying.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to have to queue.
Oh,
Turn
there
off
you go.
auto click. There we go. I was at the top. I was just like, what the hell? All right. So I got 2 running backs. That's not ideal, but I don't think there's really too much value.
We kind of needed some running back depth in general. I don't know if those are the guys you would have wanted,
but we go with them for now. Ooh, I think we might be winning a best ball ticket right now.
Oh, really?
It looks like it.
From what?
First place currently. That we are. Hopefully that stays true.
For what?
What do you think? I'm a degen.
Madden?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I don't think I could. Even if you were like, I'm making bans on this, I don't think I could bring myself.
Can you watch the games?
Oh, what? That's what I got on my other screen right now. Is that a? I think that's a deep ball to Kadarius Toney. I have him in the captain spot. We love to see
You have
that.
Kadarius Toney in the captain spot?
Bro, he's low key a cheat code in Madden. Let him cook. Let Kadarius cook. It's a weird game. You just play in the low owned spots. Oh, and that's Jerick McKinnon touchdown. Let's go.
Is it only one game, or is there a full slate?
Full slate, a game every 2 hours. I stay out of the main.
But your best ball thing is only for this Chiefs game.
Oh no, best ball, like, so you're playing to win the ticket. So it's like you're putting in like $1 or like 25 cents, and you're going up against like 12 other people.
Yeah, but is it only for this Chiefs game, or is it for every game?
Just for the Chiefs game is the one that I'm doing right now. And then I think there's a game at 4, so I have lineup set up for that as well. But yeah, it's basically like $2.50 in total entries for like each one, and like I'm getting a ticket pretty much 1 out of 3 times at minimum. So I'm just like, it's not too bad. And that's not including like when I win, I typically get multiple tickets, which is fun.
Yeah, that's just what we call investing.
Investing in the long run. Plus, I like DraftKings has like the worst best ball lobbies, just because there's a lot of casuals that don't know what they're doing and how to correlate. So it's really easy to advance there. All right, so hopefully I don't auto pick this next one. Yeah, so this pick here was supposed to be Khalil Shakir. These, I don't know what I could have done, honestly, different there. Receiver value late is basically non-existent to a degree. You can go contingent value, like Demario Douglas is apparently the favorite target of Jacoby Brissett if you were looking for someone super late. Like playing out this New England receiving room is more than fine. I like taking Rashad Bateman super late as well, because I think there's a genuine chance he's actually the Ravens wide receiver 1, even though he's like never healthy, which I think is not hilarious, but it's just like
I've seen this movie like 7 times already, though.
It's gonna happen again. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
It's just like they're consistently being like, well, this is the guy we want to feed the ball to. So I'm just like, if that's your theory, I'll ride with you a little on it. But it's an okay way to do this team. I have some things I would have preferred. Like Khalil Shakir is like the one in this 9th spot, but oh well.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like I would have loved. Like the problem is, like if I had known a way to like hack into like DraftKings as a kid in high school, like I probably would have been an absolute demon in class with this stuff.
Oh yeah,
because I would have just been bored in the back of class, just because I would have been looking for stuff to watch anyways. Like, oh, you're just telling me I can play like I would have just been fascinated by DFS. I feel like in high school.
See if the goat falls to me.
Well, we should cook up a soccer lineup for this weekend. The Premier League comes back on Saturday.
Oh, I would love to. Let's actually, Grant, if you wouldn't mind, like, let's do some more stalker analysis type stuff. I would love to get more into that realm and learn.
Yeah, I'll post a couple videos for Saturday. I can work on those the rest of the day today.
Something I'm going to be working on a lot for NFL season is just going to be slate breakdowns, essentially, of like each game. So realistically, like I'd like to do that for soccer as well, or at least Premier League.
Well, I'll definitely be doing those write-up things too that we had for the Discord. So I'll have those.
Hell yeah.
At least a couple of those in there.
AJ Brown shoving off two defenders.
RG3 got fired.
Yeah, I saw literally like 10 minutes
Come on.
after I decided to start the propaganda that it was because of the picture.
The croissant one.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been.
Damn it, Jackson.
You're never gonna get him, Wells.
I need him. There's a lot of good kickers. San Fran kicker, probably not a bad option, right? I do have that with Christian McCaffrey. It correlates a little.
No, I mean the offense should be great. He's not like a great kicker.
It's just points. You just
Yeah.
And then defense. I mean, it's really you're going to be stringing along more often than not. I like getting a little weird and going with like the Dolphins, just because I think they're more unique special teams this year. Mainly because I'm a big fan of Malik Washington. So, also found out that apparently Malachi Corley did not stay this summer and did not stay with whatchamacallit.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so that's dropping his stonks on my board.
TMZ caught his ass.
Bro, that's just not good. It's obviously like it doesn't really matter too
So is
drastically.
Lazard back up on your stonks then? If that's because I remember that was the rebuke back in the day when I was like maybe Lazard.
It was like no, it's Corley over Lazard because he roomed with Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about like your connections with the guys at the end of the day.
I mean, the Dell one was spot on last year, so
Yeah.
because they would like eat hibachi at CJ Stroud's house after practice.
Yeah,
And shit.
they're just like every single day. I mean, that's why you technically need to keep John Mechie on your radar, Like use the other guy going with him there. And yeah, it's part of why I'm hiring Diggs with that squad. But with that being said, let's go through the teams here. Fun start. You guys know how much I hate Alvin Kamara, but I think it's more than a fine pick in redraft, really. For PR scams, I just see a lot of contingent things going wrong. George Pickens, just the volume doesn't really seem likely there. So that's why I'm not a big fan of that pick. But if you want to be like, I want wide receiver ones, I get it. You chased upside with running back, so I think you're fine. But overall, like technically thin, but it's thin enough to be good. You took upside swing late with tight end. That's okay. Jaden Daniels, I think you don't need to be taking Jordan Love realistically. You do have correlation with Jaden Reed, which is fine. But like if you're able to get mobility, that's just something I prefer. And I'd rather turn this Jordan Love pick into something else. Is kind of how I see it. Like pocket passing quarterbacks are great. Like I will consistently tell you guys, like CJ Stroud is more than a fine pick. But like you really want to be taking these pocket passing quarterbacks later if you can. Like Mahomes, Stroud, they're all great. But like consistency comes a lot more with these mobile quarterbacks. With that said, though, not a bad team. Interesting to see how JMO rises. But overall, I would say probably biggest critique here is you're probably too thin at receiver, honestly. Like if anything goes wrong with Cooper Kupp, you're kind of screwed from a week-to-week standpoint because I'm not confident that George Pickens and Jaden Reed are going to be guys you can rely on week-to-week. Just because of how often they split out the rotations of receivers in Green Bay. My team, I talked about mistakes I made here already. Brian Robinson, Jerome Ford, fine, kind of point per dollar fillers, realistically. DeMario Douglas, we talked through that one. We talked through Rashad Bateman. This was supposed to be a Khalil Shakir pick, but I got distracted by my cat, so kudos to me. But yeah, I really don't mind this start. Honestly, this might be like an optimal start just in general because it's like this could be a year where I see just projections are really efficient for like the number ones of each position because you don't hear anyone saying that these three are going to finish as number one. But when you look at projections, they all project to be number one in their respective positions. So I want to take that chance. So another thing I will say is that like look at an underdog draft board. I understand it's best ball, it's a different game. But like, look at where they're pricing a lot of their receivers and stuff, and use that as a guide if you really need to. Their market is realistically better than most. Like Rashee Rice is a steal realistically on that market, and he's continuing to skyrocket up board. So be more than fine to pay a massive theoretical premium. You're getting a guy who's probably going to end in the second and third on most platforms. So take the ADP discount while you can. Moving on to Nova here, Hill, Olave, Henry. I mean, you just love liability. Let's see here. Kincaid, Odunze, Zamir White. I mean, yeah, there's just like a lot of things that are going to probably go wrong with this team. There's definitely upside. Like, I don't mind Hill and Olave. They're probably going to be great. Odunze, JSN, very fun to switch up. But, like, I'm not a Mike Williams, Jerry Judy guy. I can be wrong on those. But, like, running backs, there's a lot of ways I see this going wrong. Like, this is a way, like, it's just too thin for what you, like, put into it.
Yeah.
Like Derrick Henry's not that guy this year for me. But as I said, can easily be wrong. Moving forward. Bijan Robinson, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, Devonta Smith, fun start, Trey McBride, elite tight end. Okay, then you're finding your filler for RB2. I like that. You have Brock Purdy to correlate with Deebo. That's fine. Fun squad. Jahan Dotson, though, he's lost his job. So find someone new to take there. One of the worst picks on the board now. Brees Hall, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Kenneth Walker. Yeah, like the coach went out the day. He said, yeah, I think Olamide Zaccheaus is going to be our wide receiver 2 this year because of how poor Jahan Dotson has been doing.
That's depressing.
Not good looks. Brees Hall, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. But maybe that's good for a Luke McCaffrey stance, you know? Brees Hall, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. You're going to have – the problem with this is, like, I hate to say it, but one of these two is going to completely bust at cost this year. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's just hard to tell because it's like they both look like they're going to just continue to dominate. So I'll probably be wrong with them. Kenneth Walker, we talked about the concerns, but ultimately I could be very well wrong on him there. I like this start as a whole, though. It's a very, very fun start, well-projected, strong talent. But as I talked about here, concerns with the offensive line. Ridley, Samuel, Shakir, loved how you attacked the receiving position, especially that room. And then you're taking the guy that they're trying to compare to Devontae Adams. So you've got a theoretical passing of the torch, which could be interesting. But yeah, I like this as a whole. You've got a lot of handcuff value. This is really smart. You took Charbonnet late, so in case something does go wrong with the offensive line, you have that handcuff. Yeah, love this team. Love it, Mike. CD, Drake, Nico, pound that was Stroud. So if I'm ever going to take Stroud early, I'm going to be a bit of a psycho and probably take 2 receivers if I can. Now, is that a bit bold? Yes. But the reality for why
like Nico and Tank or something you're saying?
Yeah, because it's like if I'm really expecting CJ Stroud to pay off this price, I'm expecting him to be realistically Patrick Mahomes, who is a 20-plus fantasy point per game player. And when Mahomes had Kelsey and like Hill, those were both top 10 options. So it's like I'm expecting like the producer just to be so phenomenal with Stroud. Is that like probably too aggressive? Yes, but it's like I think it's a way you can really accelerate this pick more outside of a best ball format. But overall,
like I have him already locked in the 14th round in one of my leagues. Should I be targeting those guys early?
To correlate, if you've got him locked in, yeah, you want to be able to pay off the.
He's my 14th rounder already.
Yeah, if he's your 14th rounder, you need Texans receivers realistically. Like it doesn't like obviously you don't need it because like fantasy points are their own, but it's like if you want to get the best ceiling value out of Stroud, it's going to suck if you're in a matchup and the guy going against you has Nico Collins or Tank Dell. And you're the guy that's because it's like, well, I need Stroud to score, but it's like, what's the probability of Stroud running it in himself? Not too high.
Agreed.
Don't mind the Joe Mixon pick for just the dead zone back. He took a lot of chances at running backs here. That's fine. I just encourage with Jonathan Brooks, especially with how cheap. Well, actually, Chuba went down in practice today, so we might need to reevaluate that thesis. So I need to read into Chuba reports, but running back to pair with Jonathan Brooks is always wise. Let's see here. Moving forward, I like the team, though. You don't really need another guy here in that of Trevor Lawrence. Like, I love T-Law, but, like, he's a pocket passing quarterback. You're already making a heavy bet on CJ Stroud, who's a pocket passing quarterback. If you're ever going to be taking, like, another guy, like, find Jaden Daniels. Find Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams up here. Like, take Bo Nix, Drake May. Take these guys that have mobile upside each year. Like, I know Bo Nix is a sexy name, but, like, he does run the ball. It is what it is. Cole Kmet, one of the worst picks on the board, though. Remember that. Gerald Everett exists. So, yeah. Brandon Cooks. What the hell? Jalen Tolbert. Learn the name. Let's see here. Jackson's team. Love this squad. Very, very fun. Any notes here? No, fun. Love it. TJ Hawkinson, he's probably not going to be relevant for like at least 12 weeks, but it is what it is. Moving on to Sud Duckwood.
I tend to make sure if I ever draft talk, I just make sure that the bye week for the tight end I have isn't until like after week 10.
True. Let's see here. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. Like, who knows? Jahan could still be a fine pick for what it's worth, Rami. I wouldn't overthink it too much, but that's what's going off the coach speak right now. So, fun receiving room, contingent set-based upside. Yeah, it's an okay running back room. It's just way too thin, and like we got to keep an eye on what's going on with Chuba here. They have it up here. Down with a knee injury at practice. Thursday flying hit looks good, so we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I don't mind it. But running backs are a little bit too thin. I would realistically, considering the capital that you spent on your first 3 receivers here, probably turn these two in some like late round running backs. Miso's agreeing with me if you heard it. Moving forward,
Coulter is
we've
the
got
right guy to have there, though. Seems
Yeah.
like he will be high volume.
high volume, but we need to make sure about
Mhm.
these ones. Let's see here. Gibbs, Etienne, Kelsey, Mahomes, Cooper, Deontay Johnson, Coleman. Yeah, I just don't like your receiving room. It sucks to me. Like, I see the vision. It's just like when I looked at the Ryan Heath study, basically said that one of Amari Cooper or Stephon Diggs is going to completely like crater. People
Yeah.
still like Amari Cooper, and I think it's fine. But it's just like I think he's probably going to crater in this Deshaun Watson offense.
Considering
Johnson,
two of
yeah. Go ahead.
your how strong your two running backs are, though, like, would you be so shocked if two of Amari, Deontay, and Hopkins, two of those three, finished top 20 receivers this year?
Oh,
Like,
I
it
wouldn't be
wouldn't be
surprised.
crazy.
I think, like, realistically, like, I don't mind the DeAndre Hopkins pick, but it's like you are taking a 32-year-old receiver coming off of an MCL injury out of preseason.
Yeah, but
Like,
I think you have
that-
two guys or three guys in theory, but the second two more that could pop and you were very sure on your running backs as long as they're healthy. Like, those are as lock it and forget it as you can find. So
To me, it's just there's a lot of liability for like how these guys can all fail is my
Yeah,
concern with this team. Like ETN, even at this pick, like it's a no for me. Like I see the logic, but it's like you took too many risks here with a lot of picks that have genuine, really bad downside. We want to be swinging for as much upside and taking chances here. Like Coleman, that's fine upside. I'm willing to be wrong on that pick. D Hop, I like it, but it's like you're now at it. Like these three together, like it just makes me really cautious, especially when you feature in Cortland Sutton. Like these could be good from PPR, but it's like you're not giving yourself like true league winners here. Austin Eckler, that's somebody I could easily be wrong on though. Like what if he's just completely mispriced in the same dude? I doubt it, but we'll see. Overall, this is probably my least favorite team in the draft. Garrett Wilson, Marv, Josh Allen, Rashad White. We talked about contingent upside there. Zay, Kirk, Conky. I don't mind these as kind of upside receivers. And yeah, running backs are fine. Marshawn Lloyd, you took a swing on late round value. Yeah, more than cool.
Fun team.
Like it. Let's see here. I will say, because I don't think people take Bucky Irving yet in our drafts yet. Instead of Marshawn Lloyd, because there is like some questions about like Rashad White's usage, I would consider looking at Bucky Irving here instead because it gives you a handcuff there.
Especially over Kendre Miller potentially on this next team as well, too.
Yeah. Like there's just you want to make sure that like with your lead running back, especially if there is some concern, you have that contingency plan. So you don't have to worry about your league mates being like, well, my team was the worst one this week, so I'm going to be first one to waiver wire.
Yeah.
Let's see here. That being said, we move to AJ Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Brandon Ayuk, Josh Jacobs, T, Burrow, Tua. Okay, so we talked about quarterbacks being more cautious in that sense. Yeah, Dalton's a no, Lockett's a no, Chubb's a no. I think you just wanted to get last in this draft. I don't have really much positives to say about this team. Like I see how these 6 players are great. It's peer down where you decided to just take a complete turn to me. Kendre Miller has great upside, but we talked about why the only reason I show that I have like faith in this take initially was to just show that you guys are like, hey, I have bad takes too. And right now Kendre Miller is looking terrible. But for all we know, it is 2021 Rashad Penny. Tyler Lockett, I just don't see a world where he is relevant in his 31, 32-year-old season that he's coming up on here. With JSN supposedly going to be emerging and like Noah Fant being relevant. Just don't see it. Dalton Schultz, you're taking the 4th option in the Houston's receiving core. Contingent upside, I get it, but like it just seems very thin. You don't need Tua. Nick Chubb's not going to be playing for at least half the season, realistically. Addison's probably fine. And DeAndre Swift just sucks to me, so I'm willing to be wrong on that one. But yeah, not a fan of Team 11. Aber W. Saquon, Kyron, Diggs, Moore, Pitts, McLaurin, Worthy. All right, let's see what we got here. Fun squad to a degree. I like the upside swings you took late. You basically like another fun way to kind of go about your league mates is like, okay, like how do you screw somebody else over? If this Bijan goes down, you are the one that has Algier. He's probably going to need to do a deal with you or something. So taking your opponent's high capital handcuffs is also fun. So I don't mind this at all. Like the swings that you have on these two, just like I don't know. You took swings on receiver. I think it's fine. Yeah, this is a good team. Mims, though, not sure where he's honestly at in that Broncos pecking order, but I think it's cool. Yeah, I like the team, honestly.
Hype was there last year.
Yeah.
Good player.
Let's see. But yeah, that's really
Is
I got.
he returning kicks for them? He probably is, right?
I think so. I'd imagine he does. Him or Troy Franklin. All right. With that said, that's all I got. Jackson, Grant, you got anything more you want to add on this?
I think I'm all good. I think
Yeah.
we've covered these teams well.
Sounds good. All right, with that said, appreciate you all. Thanks for popping in, chatting some fantasy football, doing another mock with us. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, running through some more. And yeah, until next time, peace, y'all.
Peace.